The Amateur Ornithologist. The man sat on a park bench, shaded by cherry blossoms and neatly trimmed bushes. He reveled in the light breeze and the surrounding scenery. Sparrows chirped, diligent ants marched, and rippling water undulated within the brook. With the passion of an amateur ornithologist, he intently investigated the same pigeon for hours. Framed by the black rings of his binoculars, the pigeon repeated fly patterns among the swaying trees as it swooped down again and again between blooming lilac, lavender, and tulip petals. The same thing over and over, the man mused to himself. Maybe I should find a new hobby. And for a brief moment, he considered it. Nah. He put his head down and stalked the clueless pigeon through his binoculars. It swooped from a poplar tree to a nearby basketball court. It bobbed its head quickly and flapped its wings as if taking off. But then it just stopped. It waddled across the pavement and pecked at a bottle cap, breadcrumbs, and crinkled candy wrappers. He realized the pigeon had not taken or eaten anything all day. Every few steps he gave a little hop and glanced in his direction. Trekking across the concrete sidewalk, the pigeon continued unfazed by the Korean pop music playing throughout the park's sound systems. Humans, however, inevitably gyrated to these awkward noises. When it finally reached the end of the concrete, the pigeon spread its wings wide, pranced, and flew away. He's odd, the man thought, baffled. What strange behavior? Why did the pigeon walk when it could fly? The man consulted his thorough records. Nothing like this behavior had occurred the day before or even the days prior. In fact, he found nothing of value within the pages of his research notes on the peculiar behavior of the pigeon before him. He stared ahead, briefly stymied. Then an epiphany crashed over him. Maybe this is a new discovery in pigeon behavior. He abandoned his documents, borrowed bird books from the library, and exorbitantly priced binoculars to jog to the same spot where the pigeon had landed. Getting on his hands and knees, he retraced the pigeon's path, moving slowly and staring at the ground around him. He did his best to memorize and analyze every detail. He pecked at the ground while bobbing his head back and forth, and pretended he had wings by flapping his arms wildly. He must know why this creature who could fly across vast distances decided to walk at the last minute. At the end of the pavement, the man's hands and knees were caked in specks of rocks, grime from people's shoes, and pollen particles. He returned to his bench and scrutinized his experience. Yet, within his arduous and meticulous journey across the pavement, he could think of no reason for the pigeon's strange yet confident movements. Perplexed and tired, the man stood up, stretched, and took a deep breath. Pigeons are weird creatures. Maybe I really do need a new hobby. He trekked back to the bench, gathering his things in dismay, and went home. The oddly behaving pigeon flew out of the man's view and landed amongst the rest of the flock. The chirps mingled in a cackling cacophony. Did you see that? That idiot actually crawled across the pavement. The tiny body shook with laughter. I told you he would. I tricked him into flapping his arms like a chicken yesterday. I made him shake his butt after I shook my tail feathers in front of him. And I got him to bob his head for a whole minute. They grouped together, laughing all the harder, while joyfully watching the sad man retreat into the distance. Humans are strange, silly creatures. The oddly behaving pigeon thought, and then flew away without a worry in the world, in search of the next human, the next ornithologist, to observe and happily torment.